Hello, friends, and welcome to the international discussion. Today, we're going to talk about the International Online Forum that took place on April 22nd, 2023. A historical event that's going to change the course of our lives, of our humanity, because information presented by the volunteers and the scientists from around the world is groundbreaking, and it is our chance. Now, we know that people were saying that this forum is going to change the world, but it's going to happen only if people will share this information with each other and therefore create a demand for implementation of the technologies and the creative society. And today with me, I have my co-host from all the way from Slovakia, Monica.
Thank you so much, Telly. It is so good to be with you today. And let me introduce our honorable guests for today. So today, our first guest is Sonja-Sophie, who is from United States and who is concerned world citizen and holistic life coach. Sonja, welcome to this international discussion. How are you doing?
Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Tali. Thank you for having me back. I'm doing well, and I'm happy to be here again with you today and ready for the discussion.
Thank you so much. We're also very happy to have you here today. Our second guest is Nicolai Amani from Cameroon, who is an architect. Nicolai, thank you so much for being with us today. How are you doing?
Greetings. Everything is great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And our final guest is Brian Elliott from Canada, who is a mechanic and boat builder. Brian, welcome to this show, and tell us, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here with us. It's a great pleasure. And indeed, like meeting new faces every time is amazing. After each forum, we can see that there is a wave of, interconnections all around the world, people sharing this information, people coming across, they stumble across creative society and they'd be like, wow, that's exactly what we wanted for such a long time. And for those who have seen the previous forums, of course there is always something new with each new forum, and therefore I wanted to ask my first question and address it to Sonja. And the question is, what stood out the most for you at this recent forum on April 22nd? Global crisis, there is a way out. So what was the most remarkable?
Thank you for that question. Now, since I had seen the forum, unity is, our safety, our survivors and unity, yes. That was what drew me into the Creative Society. I just found the forum a few days before it was airing. I watched the whole thing and I was in from then. And now I was very, very curious to see what information will you guys present to us in this forum. What stood out the most to me was the presentation by Alex about the economy. Now, I always knew that a different type of economy was possible, but I'm not an economist, I'm not a mathematician, statistician, I'm more of a different creative type person. I like to see the big picture, don't like to worry about the details, but somebody has to, and Alex did such an outstanding job at presenting that. And that information to me was like, yes, we are going to be able to show and prove to a lot of people who may be skeptical at this time that this is really possible. There's no wishful thinking here. This is well thought through, and it's definitely possible. So let's do it. So that's what stood out to me the most.
Thank you so much, Sonja. Indeed, this forum was everything in this forum, information presented there and all videos, they were creating in such understandable way. And I mean, every person should watch this forum because it gives you, answers to all of the questions you might have regarding creative society. Thank you so much. And now I would like to ask Nicolai about the forum Global Crisis, There is a Way Out, which took place on April 22nd. Nicolai, how did you like the forum? What impressed and inspired you the most? And what specific topics touched and shocked you the most?
Well, the most I really enjoyed the forum. In fact, there is a lot of information, a lot of new information. I honestly didn't expect that. I thought that what else is going to be new there? But it turns out a lot of new information. It was talked about science, how it all works. I was more interested in how the replicator works, how the utilizer of matter works, and everything about it. It was explained about snakes. Do you remember how it all works, matter, how it all works? And well, I'm kind of an educated person myself, a scientist, and this is for the first time I hear something like that. In fact, I really, for the first time, I have ever seen or heard about anything about like that. It was kind of a breakthrough in science. And well, I think really, if there are such kind of explanations, it turns out that what we can do, if we can do things like a replicator, it turns out that's very real because we already understand how it all works, how it all can be put into action, and how that it can really put into action. And I was really interested about it, and I'm going to work at the forum again, this fragment, and I really it's not everything, of course. What I enjoyed, I don't know if I liked or I was just surprised. It was just a moment where it was showed how shall I say, the head of the Freemasons, the leader, how he explains, it really, honestly, really, it surprised me a lot. I understand that all people take the creative society seriously, to such an extent that that to declare to everyone that I would like to support the creative society. This was a great surprise to me. In fact, I didn't expect that.
Wow. Yeah, for us, it's it's a great pleasure to hear that the things we've been talking about before in previous forums. When you present a concept of creative society for the first time, people have questions, and many people hear about creative society for the first time from a 30-second TikTok video where we talk about universal basic income of $10,000, and people be like, hold on, let me grab my calculator. That amount of money doesn't exist. It's impossible. And then you have to explain in details. Of course, we're talking about a completely different model of economy, right? Where there are certain limitations to personal wealth, where there is money created for the benefit of the society, not to enrich a few with those percentages and interest, but rather the interest-free, the crisis-free economy, the inflation-free economy. It's a completely different model of economy. And, one of the things we brought up that modern technologies, AI, is being used everywhere, except for the self-governance and building the economy that would benefit all the people. And of course, when we approach it from the most unexpected things, many people don't understand what is creative society. They say, oh, it's some kind of globalists. Well, we say, yes, we are globalists, but we're not the kind of globalist that's trying to take over the power, but kind of globalist that's trying to unite our civilization into a global union with no power above human being. And everyone supports it. Masonry, Freemasonry, people from all backgrounds. And because we have one thing that unifies us, it's the fact that we're all human beings and we all want to live. And I'm very happy that we see new faces every time. We see people joining from everywhere. And today with us, we have Brian from Canada. And I believe for Brian, it was a very fresh thing. It was the first time you've seen anything about, heard about the creative society, and it was this forum. So I would love to hear from you, Brian. What was it like for you to find out about such a project for the first time at this forum?
Yeah. Well, when I first found out about it, I was like, wow, I'm not the only one. I've had the same idea of a people's united kind of thing around the world, governments kind of globally. And then when I seen this, it was just kind of, wow, like, I'm not the only one that thinks like this, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I just want, sorry, Tali, I just wanted to add that exactly, sometimes people have this feeling like, oh, I am alone in this world, like I have these problems. But when you like look globally of what's going on, you will realize that actually this is happening everywhere, and that we are living on the same planet, we are living in the same society, and all of these crises are happening everywhere. But what's the amazing thing about that is that actually there is a way out. We have a chance how to how to solve all of these problems, and there is only one solution, and that is the creative society. And I was really amazed at the forum, because to build creative society, there are 3 stages, right? There is the first stage, which is like information stage, the second stage is political stage, and the third stage, it's like a worldwide referendum. And when it was mentioned so many times during the forum, that all we have to do to build the creative society is just to tell your friends and your colleagues and your neighbors about the creative society. I was like amazed, because when I heard it like in this way, I was like, wow, so this is like the only thing what is preventing me from building the creative society, is that my friends don't know about it yet. So we have to inform whole humanity about the creative society. But the amazing thing is that this is what people are already doing. They're actively informing other people about the creative society. And right now I would like to ask our technical support to show us a video from, it's like the excerpt from the forum about how to inform people about the creative society and about creating coordination centers. So let's watch a video right now.
The Creative Society is not a commercial project. Nobody profits from it, and no one benefits at someone else's expense. People from all over the planet come together to build a society based on one simple principle. Only by improving life for the entire society can you improve it for yourself. This is the main principle of the Creative Society format, which guarantees benefits for everyone. The project's implementation relies solely on the goodwill and initiative of the people. Even one person can do a lot to build the Creative Society, and by uniting, more can be accomplished in less time. When we coordinate our actions, our abilities to inform others multiplies. Do you want to inform others about the Creative Society quickly and effectively so that it can be implemented sooner? Join forces with others around you, neighbors, friends, relatives, and co-workers, to establish Creative Society coordination centers. Your coordination center will be a community of like-minded individuals who also endorse the Creative Society. It will serve as a hub for people of your building, street, neighborhood, and city who take action on a volunteer basis, taking into account local legislation. If there is no coordination center in your vicinity, that needs to be fixed. Waste no time, inform your neighbors, find like-minded people, and create your own volunteer coordination centers. What do you need to create a coordination center? Opening one is simple, and anyone can do it. First, you should inform the main coordination center about your decision through the official email on the creativesociety.com website. Then, by joint efforts with others, do everything possible within the framework of the law to inform even more people about the Creative Society. You, the people, are the center of coordination. You can gather in person or virtually. You don't even need to be in the same place as other participants. You can organize your own communication through a chat on any convenient social network. Meetings and coordination can take place online using audio and video calls. The main thing is the coordination of your actions, which means a joint agreement
on how you will organize the information sharing process. If you create a coordination center, it means that you are making a platform where you can communicate, coordinate your actions to inform people about the creative society in your region or city, hold conference calls, plan meetings, discuss results, distribute tasks among yourselves, brainstorm, and look for new approaches. If you have any ideas, you can bring it to a general conference call or meeting and discuss it together on how to implement it. For example, together you can print car stickers, put the logo on clothing and products, arrange for advertising in public places, and much more. You can download the designs for free from the creativesociety.com website. By coordinating your efforts, you can inform and engage your immediate surroundings and even entire communities, groups, organizations, districts, cities, internet resources, and local media, telling them about the Creative Society. Don't limit yourself. If you want to, you can inform your entire country and even your neighboring countries. You can organize coordination centers based not only on where you live, but also on your sphere of interests, including various lifestyle communities, sport clubs, business networks, etc. You can also interact with other coordination centers from different cities, countries, and the entire planet, joining in a virtual format of coordination. The Creative Society is a union of all humanity, all organizations, all people, all those who want to live in the Creative Society, and all those who understand the doom of the current consumer format are welcome here. The Creative Society is beneficial to absolutely everyone.
Wow, what an amazing video. It explains to you exactly how to take action. You and maybe one friend of yours in your city, in your town, in your local neighborhood can get together and decide how exactly to inform others. And like, make no mistake, even two of you can inform the whole city or the whole state and so on. You just coordinate in your efforts. In 1 month, it's going to be 5 of you. In a couple of months, it's going to be a dozen of people. And then in 1 year, everyone is going to know if we're taking this action. And there is a clear plan. It's been working everywhere. And this is the way for people to take action and make a difference. And as Monica said, the only difference and the only thing that separates us from living in the Creative Society is the fact that not everyone is yet aware. Yes, we have millions of people around the world, but we live in a world with 8 billion people, so we should inform everyone. So super happy to see this video, and maybe we could share some thoughts on this, on informing others, and maybe some personal experience. And let me start with Sonia once again, because I know how much active you are and that you already planned a trip to Europe, and then you have so much plans and so many. But you're a super active person. First of all, like, I wish everyone was active like you, and maybe the fact that you've been communicating with a lot of people throughout your whole life, that gives you perspective that all people want it. Maybe the question that people might have, those who communicate less with people, they think, oh, maybe others not going to understand me, maybe stepping over some fears and stepping stones over there. Maybe you could help people to understand what actions can be taken by your personal experience. Please go ahead.
Thank you for putting absolutely no pressure on me, Tali. Now I really have to step it up. But yes, I mean, when I first heard about the idea of the Creative Society, I thought, wow, this is something that I have been wanting and dreaming about since I was a child. And at that moment that I found out that there are others, there is an initiative already, that there are actual steps and plans in place already that can be taken to make this dream come true. Really, the question from now on, moving forward for my life, is what else is there to do than to really do everything I can to make my dream of this unified, fantastic world that helps everyone live a better life happen? Like, what else more important is there to do? And the answer that I found within myself was nothing. There's nothing more important to do. So obviously I'm working in my job, I am taking care of my bills, of the daily things, but whenever I have some time, then I make a decision on what's the best use of my time right now. Sometimes it's just writing an email to someone. Sometimes it's talking with some friends in Germany, for instance. One of my friends was watching the forum upon my recommendation just 2 days ago in the Himalayas. He's visiting an ashram right now. He watched it there. Once he finished watching, his question was, funny enough, how do I become an ambassador? He wanted to know right away, how can I help spread this information? So I got him in touch with the German team through Telegram, and so connected him to the German team, which is very active already. And also I translate climate news for them on Sundays. So I'm in touch with some German team. In the summer, like you mentioned, I plan on going to Germany anyway, visiting people that I've been doing yoga with and doing all these spiritual things with for a long time is one of the places where I'll be going. And I will be setting up with the German team table, spreading the word there, maybe even doing a couple of talks, because this will be a big yoga center where I'm going. Also going to a festival. This is where Olga says you can use your own personal preferences. What do you love to do? So I will go to a music festival near Amsterdam for 4 days, and I will be taking pins. I will make a flag, and I will spread the word. I will see a lot of people that I haven't seen in a long time from around the world. People from California, people from Germany, people from literally all around the world go to this festival, and many I haven't seen since before the lockdowns, and they will be wanting to hear from me, and this is what I will tell them. What have you been up to in the last 4 years? This is what I've been up to. So whatever you feel is comfortable for you, this may be different for different people. Just start slowly with that. If you don't get a response from someone that is favorable, don't worry, just move on to the next person. And slowly you will have your own ideas, use your own creativity to figure out what is it that you want to do. And then you have all these wonderful people to ask. And just want to throw that out there. If anyone is interested in hosting maybe a Zoom and wants someone to talk about creative society, but doesn't feel like maybe they're a little bit scared of public speaking, I'm available via Zoom to help you guys out. That's just one of the things I would like to throw out there.
Wow, Sonja, thank you so much. I mean, you are an inspiration, when you see such amazing people and when you see how much they do to build the creative society. I mean, it inspires you to act even more, and you are a proof that you can inform people about the creative society everywhere. I mean, you can do whatever you want and you can still find ways how to inform people. So that is the amazing way about this, that you don't have to do something special, or you don't have to be expert to tell people about the creative society. No, there are so many ways how to inform people very easily. And now I would like to ask Nicolai, I would like to ask you, why do you think is it so important for people to unite common efforts to create such coordination centers? And maybe you can give us examples how to inform people about the creative society. You can share with us your examples, how you inform people about the creative society.
Yes, indeed. I can share an experience that I even have even today. Today, when I was driving to the construction site, I met an old friend of mine, and he didn't know anything about the creative society. So I started telling him, and what did I tell him? I told him that the inevitable disaster is coming. This is a fact. I explained why. What's going on with the magma? What's going on with the Gulf Stream and everything about it? These are all real threats that affects all of us. But in fact, that our states, and it's true, our states are aimed at what? To make more money and make more profit. And they really can't do anything about it, even if they know about it. Because first of all, because there is no need to sow panic and to bring this panic further. And even if the second thing, even if it happens, there is nothing we can do in front of such a massive disaster. That's why, in general, everyone keeps quiet. But it doesn't mean that nothing is happening. Indeed, something is happening. But even if there is a way out, some solution to this problem, a large-scale solution, we cannot find such a solution because each state works only for itself and even goes to war against each other. So what can we do? It's impossible. This is why we have everything that by uniting we are getting stronger. This is our way out. I believe that if all states come together as one, then we can find an affordable way out, and the scientists who will work not only for inventing weapons, but we can find together this way out, and it's natural. It's natural, even if this way out does not exist, we can really try to find it together, because because the life is such. And I explained it to him, and I really enjoyed that the person is get an instance that he started question about it, he started searching about it, he started reading more information about it. So I have such an experience today, and I always talking to people. It's not always easy to talk to people about it in reality, because everybody's thinking about their job. Everyone's running back and forth, and when you telling things like that, so they just ask you, why do I need this, all of these? So if you don't believe to it, don't believe it yourself, it's not real to you, so you cannot find the words to explain it to people. It's going to be impossible. So I have to see for yourself. You need to understand again, and this is all about. Watch all the forums to understand really what's going on, because if there are some people who don't want to know, they don't want to look, they don't want to understand what's going on, you start talking about such information, and it just make it to the side. Well, if there is such kind of person, they just want to know anything about it. He don't believe it, just don't care about it. But if you think if all these lies, if it's not true, then prove it. Go dig, look, read, learn more about it, and then decide for yourself if it's true or not. So this is my personal opinion.
Wow, what an incredible example. And the example of communicating like person to person. And it's really important to understand yourself and to watch and to dig into the information, verify everything. You've seen these facts that have been laid out about what's happening to climate, to Gulf Stream, to magma, to Yellowstone volcano, to deep focused earthquakes. This is something that we don't hear about on the news, or we hear about on the news as, well, something's happening here or there, something similar was 200 years ago. No. Hold on a second. Take the facts laid out at the International Online Forum and verify them. Check for yourself. And then you will have the information that, deep knowledge that you understand, that you can share with others. And it is your personal experience. It is your, you being passionate about it, what's going to spark other people. And, one thing I want to also, from my personal experience, don't expect people to, 100% agree and be the same passionate about it right away. If you see no reaction, it doesn't mean that people don't understand. Sometimes it takes time. So they will hear about the creative society from you for the first time. That's it. You already informed the people. Our mission is not to convince anyone. It is to inform people. You inform the person. Next time they're gonna hear about it from somebody else, from different source. And maybe 10 time, on the 10th time, they're gonna hear it. They're gonna finally understand when everybody else is like, that there was a very interesting film called Idiot presented at the forum. So the guy, there was a guy who was completely denying everything until he saw that everyone around him already supports it. So there must be something wrong with you if you're not yet joined the project. And this is exactly what, maybe not in such hyperbolized form, but yeah, one way or another, people will understand that this is a way out, not because we want it, not because it's our project, but because it's clearly the best solution to it. We've tried many different things, and this is the solution because, as Nicolai said, it comes from unification of the people, and don't wait for the governments to unite, don't wait for the states to unite. Yeah, it has to be unification of the people, and request has to come from the people. That's the only righteous way to do it. And maybe Brian has some comments. I know you're living in a state which is also very polarized. You have many internal issues, you have many communities, we even speak in multiple languages over there, so the situation in your country is not so as unified, and not only flowers in there. But what is it that do you think can unite people in your area where you live?
It is kind of up and down. A lot of Canada and stuff don't really get a lot of the news, so we don't know what's going on in other countries. I asked a friend the other day, like, what do you know about Turkey and stuff? And he's like, well, there was a big earthquake and it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, well, that's not true. It's just, that's only what was showed on media for a very short time. It wasn't shared like through the country and globally kind of thing of what's actually happening in the world. So, like, when people actually talk about this stuff and on a global scale, you actually get what's actually going on around the planet and stuff. So that way, like, more knowledge is better, right, for everybody. So, and like, I was just talking to coworkers about it, and they kind of came up with the same idea where, oh, the society kind of sounds great, but like, what makes it work, kind of thing. And I said, well, the people do. The people around the globe coming together, making their own government kind of thing where it actually works. Because I asked them straight up, how do you feel that your government works for you? They said, well, not at all. So it's just, that's the way people are feeling all over the world. And like, they're just thinking that's just the way it is. It's the way it has to be, kind of thing. But it's not. It's just our choice, right? So the more we go into it and stuff, the more we understand that the people have the power, and it's a globally united thing.
Thank you so much, Brian. I would like to comment on what you said, that indeed right now media are hiding the truth from us. I mean, when you watch the TV, you cannot find out the real causes, for example, of climate change, about what is going on. This whole picture of what is really going on in our planet is missing. And I mean, this is a huge problem because people are not aware of what is going on. They have a feeling like everything is okay, or it will pass, like, okay, today it sucks, but few weeks later or few months later, it will be better. What makes the Creative Society project so unique is that it is a platform that provides truthful and objective information, that provides this whole picture of our current situation. And I mean, this is so amazing because when you watch the forums that people all around the globe and participants of the Creative Society make, when you watch these global crisis forums, you will finally find out what is going on. And I mean, this is so relieving that finally you know the truth, and that you know that actually we can do something about that. And not that we can, but I would say that it is our duty, because this is our society. And as you said, we can build such a world only together, because the true power is in us, in people. And that's the amazing thing about the creative society, that the power will belong to people. So we people can decide about our society and what we want and what we don't want, because who knows better what people want? Of course, we know what we want and what we don't know. Tali, would you like to also comment on this or add something?
Oh yeah, well, definitely. You see, people don't know the holistic picture, because news, as Brian said very exactly, they showing us some small chunks of information here and there, and it seems like some small pieces of the puzzle, and it takes a little bit of effort to actually put the picture together. Like for myself, it was like, I'm clearly seeing something's wrong, but I don't understand what's happening from the news. And then I came across the videos of the Creative Society where, something about the water. Water is disappearing in one regions, and then like too much water comes out in other regions. It's huge floods. What's causing it? I was like, this is really interesting. Like, what's causing it? Nobody talks about it. Nobody explains it. How come we had 20 floods in 1980s and we have over 200 today, and nobody shows the percentage, nobody shows the statistics, and they just saying, oh, something happened here, and the next day some other disaster is happening, and nobody's commenting on what happened yesterday. How about those people in Pakistan that 1/3 of the country went underwater? Like, how is it possible that our news anchors have such a short span of time? It's like Dory, that fish Dory finding Nemo, and this Dory. I feel like they think that people are like that fish, have 8-second attention span, and then we don't understand anything. It's just disrespectful for me as a personality to be fed up information like that. Like it's some fast food that I'm consuming today, and tomorrow it's the next thing. I refuse to live like that. I want to understand what's happening in the world. I believe most people are intelligent people, and they do understand. But when we approach each other as from point of respect, we give this information and we explain. We know that people need it. We know that people want this information. Of course, out of the blue, it might be shocking, but people do understand it, and people are much better and much smarter than we're being convinced by the this media and system, who trying to convince us that don't try even to inform anyone. People won't understand. Well, people only don't understand the things because they are not aware of that information yet. But most people in the world are really, really good people. I know it firsthand, because first thing I did, I took it to the streets. I took my camera phone and I was like, let me ask people how do they want to live. And basically everyone is describing Creative Society without even knowing about the project. So I was like, oh, it's no-brainer. It's obvious that everybody wants it. The question is, how do we inform people? And right now we have this amazing technologies. Look at the screen. You have people from all the different countries, all the continents, and it's not a problem for all of us to unite and coordinate. How do we spark the world into a, as Alexei said at the forum at the very end, how to put it from head back to the feet, like how to put this world in the correct way that actually beneficial for the people. That's my thoughts, but maybe to summarize our conversation, which I really, really enjoyed today, maybe some wishes and something from our guests, for the audience, for the people, for those who are still debating or not taking active stand. What would be your wishes? What would you like to wish to our viewers? And maybe I would like to start this time with Brian, and the first your first touch upon Creative Society. Please share your wishes.
Well, I come from a town of 300, so it's a very small population here and stuff. And like I said, there's not a lot of news locally a lot of the time. So when I know there's a lot of people from other countries in the population here and stuff, and they can hardly get news from their own country or wherever they're from, and it's just better way of communicating is through creative society, right? So when people are actually telling everybody what's happening in the world, it makes it a lot easier, a lot more informal for people, and people can have a better understanding of what's going on in the world.
Thank you so much, Brian. And also I would like to ask Nicolai. Nicolai, what would you like to tell all people out there and or our listeners? What would you like to tell them?
I would like to tell all the people that we can't live in society without creation. It's impossible. Mobile phones were invented, the cars were invented, like the beer, the drink was also invented by man, and everything was invented by us humans. Without creation, it's impossible. So I know that the last years, even centuries, have been very difficult now. So, you know, for us right now, it's very, very difficult even to imagine such kind of society. I understand that, that's real, but you know what I would like to tell you now, though, everything comes to an end, and now let's build such a society. Let's make it, because let's live like humans being and survive. Let's finally live. That's all.
The consumerist format, and we have to not to survive but live. And you know, it's really inspirational that everything is created by people. So why don't we create a society that we actually want to live in? Amazing. Thank you so much. And now let me pass the word to Sonja-Sophie and hear your wishes for the people.
Well, I don't know why, but today, while everyone was talking, 3 different quotes came to my mind that I feel like maybe I'm supposed to share right now, right? So the first quote that came to mind was, and I believe it was Einstein who said it. It may have been someone else. Don't quote me on that. But it basically says that a mind once expanded can never go back to its original size. What that means is that if you just tell someone about a new idea and they hear it, now their mind, whether they want it or not, has expanded. Now what they do with it is up to them, but their mind can now never go back to its original size, and they will carry that idea, and eventually they will come upon an issue or a situation where what you shared with them will become relevant. And now they will start digging, and that idea will grow. So just share, don't even worry about the reaction, but remember, once you have expanded their mind, which if you tell them about something that's called the expansion of the mind, you have done awesome already, and it will spread and it can never be unsaid. That's 1. 2 is something that's being used in the United States a lot, a quote by Zig Ziglar. This is used especially in the entrepreneur and business world, is if you help enough people to get what they want, you will get everything you want. And I believe that's exactly what Olga was saying earlier in the video. And really, I mean, what could you want more than to live in a world where everyone will be taken care of, and you will have everything that you need, everything that you could ever want and need, and you will be free. You can be creative, and you don't have to worry about your family members. Almost everyone has a family member somewhere that is not capable of taking care of themselves. Well, guess what? By you helping other people get a beautiful life, you help yourself and those who you love, who may not be able to do this for themselves, get a beautiful and safe life. So just think about that. The last one I want to share is by Buckminster Fuller, also a man that is always quoted, especially in the business and self-development range, is that in order to, and I'm not exactly sure about the exact words of the quote, but it's basically like this: don't complain about the old system that in place that you don't like, but You can change it when you replace it with a new system. And that's exactly what creative society is about to do. And all you have to do is to say yes to it. I mean, like, all you have to do literally is to say yes to it, maybe talk about it, and it will become a reality. It is the new model that will replace this outdated model that none of us wants to live in any longer. And that's all I have to say about that.
Sonja, thank you so much for such inspiring words. I totally agree with you. You know, the creative society is the best investment for all of us. It's like the investment into our future, into our lives, because who doesn't live in the creative society? As Tali said, only those who are, I'm sorry, idiots or do not, but also those one who do not understand the essence of the creative society. And therefore it is so important to talk to people, you know, because there might be many misunderstanding, and it is our also task to explain it to people, you know, to explain that what is the meaning of the creative society, that actually it's a new format of society in which our lives and our safety will be the highest value. Is the society that every human being is dreaming of. And as the social survey that was part of the forums showed, all people want to live in the creative society. So yes, so our task is to right now is to inform people about the creative society. So I would like to tell dear viewers, please, I would like to encourage you to watch the forum that took place on April 22nd, Global Crisis, There is a Way Out. Because trust me, this is a life-changing forum. Information presented there will change your life. It totally changes perspectives and attitudes towards life, because finally you will find out the truth, you know. But what is the most important, you will find out about the solution, and it will give you a view of what kind of society we can live in. And I mean, it's just a prosperous, dignified and beneficial society that you cannot even think of. So please find a time, watch the forum. You can like split it like every hour, 1 hour every day, and yes, trust me, it will change you. It will change your perspectives and towards life and everything. So please watch the forum. And also, I would like to thank you, our guests. Thank you so much for such inspiring and live show.
Yes, thank you for being with us today. It's incredible. And thank you so much for all the quotes. And it's incredible to hear that people do understand. It doesn't make sense to fight against endless consequences of the consumerist format. It is much easier, much more beneficial to build a creative society in which, and there is one quote I love a lot as well. It says that true freedom comes from distribution of power. And there is nothing more beneficial than the distribution of power among all people, because then power becomes eliminated and we all execute it for the benefit of everyone. That's exactly the essence of the creative society, plus the value of a human life instead of monetary values of or something else. What we live in the world today, things that do matter, money and power, replace that with human life. Thank you so much for being with us today. Please like, share this video, write in the comment section below what kind of things you understand from the forum, what stood out for you, and let everyone know. Write us an email and be our guest, or maybe even a host of one of such streams. Thank you so much for being with us today, and have a very nice, wonderful day, and let's build a creative society together.